Slowing down his lyrics is nuts. Are you? There's three things. I'm having to think about this. Hey guys, this is Average Christian. I take a look at music and artists through the lens of the Bible. I'm not a pastor. I'm not a preacher. I'm not a theologian. I'm an average Christian. Today, we're looking back at a series of music videos that I've been looking at. We've looked at two already. We're on the third. Watch the World Burn. Last Resort was last. If you want to watch those, one of these sides, I'll put that up there. This is Ronald from Falling in Reverse. So right before this drop, it's interesting. We watch the World Burn, Last Resort. Almost seeing a little bit of a progression of what he said, really in that first line or two. So we're gonna keep going. What's hanging on like a parasite? Okay, death is hanging on. Time to cut the cord. Death is at your door, reaching in from the other side. Time to cut the cord. That's super interesting. Ronald, my dude. That's interesting. Already some lyrics that there's a heavier weight to these. Like, yeah, it's intense. Okay, I get that. But some like more depth to these lyrics that I didn't really expect here. So that's pretty cool. Okay. Oh, hey, have you subscribed yet? If you haven't, go ahead and do that. We're going to be looking at more of this. And if you have some other suggestions, send them my way. Yeah, this is one I kind of have to go back and process just a little bit. It's interesting, too, just this is not the same character in Watch the World Burn. There's some similarities, but I don't even think it's meant to be like the same. Is that the same symbol that was behind Ronnie in Watch the World Burn? The very Reich-esque looking section. It's like an altered pentagram, but with a cross in the middle. There's a detail. What are you trying to get here? Is this some being that represents something in between the two of them? Wrestling with some of that, kind of interesting. So death hanging on like a parasite. So is talking about the person at this point. You're don't hesitate. You're reaching out for the light. Ooh, interesting. Walking on a razor's edge. So is that just like there's one side, there's the other side, almost representative of that symbol of where do I stand with my faith, maybe? Okay, we're going to keep going. I'm not your friend. I'm not your friend. Okay, I've pulled it from the depths of the 36 chambers. Is that just a Wu-Tang reference? I know that much. I don't know what it actually references or what the original was nodding to. So I don't know there. Okay, so the first time that I saw this video, I specifically remember and like, okay, the song sounds sick. The video, completely awesome. First time I heard this is like, okay, Ronnie, you're just like completely against Christianity. There's been some stuff looking through things where it's like, I think there's more of a basis, and even from people bringing up some different ideas that he's looking at, he's facing. I don't understand where this goes into things. As a little side note, I'm a big metal fan. I'm a big fan of music that I'm not supposed to like as a Christian, but I like, and I like that positioning, generally style-wise.
Where are you going with this?
One thing I just think is funny to point out to people who I don't think most of the people who wear upside down crosses are even making a statement of this as a satanic type cross, unless as an actual I stand against Jesus. The thing that is one of the most metal things to find out in the last however many years is the upside down cross is actually St. Peter's cross, where the idea was Peter was going to be crucified, and he didn't want to be crucified in the same way as his Lord Jesus. So he asked that they would invert the cross because he is below and subservient in honor of Jesus. And I don't know if there's a more metal piece of knowledge, but that's pretty brutally awesome. But getting back to this, I don't really understand this crucify section, especially kind of with the war in him. Although I know that the guy will kind of put things in there to just kind of like slap culture in the face a little bit and just like stir people up. So I feel like there's a little bit of that, but I'm not sure where the logical spiritual base is that is in that for him. So still trying to figure that out. So let's go. Deep into the trench of a place unknown. Lies a dead man clutched to the bottom of a throne. I'm curious. I think most people would read this and like, oh, yeah, he's talking about Satan. The fact that he says man might not actually connect with that. He's a spiritual being, but let's see. We're going to have to pause and play a lot. And this is Tech 9. Tech 9 is not... Do they call him Choppa? Is that the thing? He's so quick. So, gosh dang, dude. Let's pull up actually another lyric page. That last part, it's the devil that you know that's got a hold upon your wicked soul. Is the dead man clutched to the bottom of a throne? Is that him referencing the devil or a person that's subservient? The dead man clutched to the bottom of a throne is a reference to the devil. Okay, let's see if we can get through this. What is up in your mind? Are you thinking the devil is making the crime or the people are evil?
Never no demon designer, the opposite of a divine? No!
There's three things. I'm having to think about this. Slowing down his lyrics is nuts. Are you thinking the devil is making the crime or the people are evil and never no demon design or the opposite of a divine? Weird. Okay, that's a interesting, I think, even bigger theological question I don't think I was ready for. Are you thinking the devil is making the crime or the people are evil and never demon design? Number one, thinking like, generally speaking, overall, are you thinking the devil is overall the source of bad, period? Devil is the source of evil, and maybe this is a statement of all evil contributes back to him directly or indirectly. Number two, the people are evil and no demon design. I don't think that's true. Even biblically looking, there are spiritual forces doing things. I feel like I've experienced different, very specific fights and attacks that felt darker than just a human doing something to me. I'm not saying humans don't do things wrong and that we don't have some kind of choice for doing wrong. I've made wrong choices. So, okay, that's option two, or the opposite of the divine. The devil is the opposite of divine. Is human the opposite of divine? What is the opposite of a divine, of a god? Not really sure on that one. Okay, let's keep going.
Yes, the hell is in front of you, side and behind. I can feel every sign of a human.
Yes, the hell is in front of you, side and behind. I can feel every sign of a human decline. Okay, just talking through. There's so many lyrics on this. Tech, what are you doing?
Kind of believing the time is upon us when all of our people are blind. Yo!
I'm believing the time is upon us when all of our people are blind. Yo.
Red rain, saw it falling from a tower's dead plane. Head banged, Mandalay Bay Hotel out of lead can.
So this is the Mandalay Bay shooting. Okay, so this is just like talking about, I think, an overall theme of just like end times kind of thing.
Sex change could get you caught up in death's range. He played same, but really imitating Ed Game. How do we get this way? Nigga, that shit to say when we get this way. Having a fit today, so they wanna make a bitch the game. My son's mom.
References to bad, not great things.
That shit to say when we get this way. Having a fit today, so they wanna make a bitch the game. My son's mom, when God it was really wrong. I thought it was gone. The vomit, searching for my son, but I didn't go John Muhammad. So the devil's right here on this level, wipe tears. Cause when rebels ready to the heavy metal life here.
So the devil's right here on this level, wipe tears. Is that more because like the time of weeping? How to take this? Because this is, I would assume this is more of a like a purgatory look at somebody's life in between heaven and hell. Because when ready to pop the heavy metal wife, are they talking about fall in reverse when rebels ready to pop the heavy metal wife here?
Abomination, they've been faking consecration.
Abomination, they've been faking.
Hating, Western education, got the kill.
One more time through this before a sick breakdown.
My son's mom, when God it was really wrong. I thought it was gone. The vomit, searching for my son, but I didn't go John Muhammad. So the devil's right here on this level, wipe tears. Cause when rebels ready to pop the heavy metal life here. Abomination, they've been faking consecration, hating, Western education.
Okay, so abomination, they've been faking consecration, hating Western education. Got that killer on a kid. I got it. Man, I almost wonder if this is a little point and nod to some church leaders. I don't know if that's the case. Maybe this is more the Western world in Christianity. Abomination, they've been faking consecration hating. Consecration hating as in almost doing the things that consecrating yourself before the Lord. Western education kind of goes along in that of like, we can outthink things. We can out logic death, getting to the point where we can almost outlive death quite a few years more than before, almost getting into a transhumanism possibility.
I'm searching for my son, but I didn't go John Muhammad. So the devil's right here on this level, wipe tears. Cause when rebels ready to pop the heavy metal life here. Abomination, they've been faking consecration, hating, Western education. Got the killer on the killer, gotta chase him. Go!
Enters Alex Terrible. I really, 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 really love that very Queen-esque part. That's so cool. Ooh, never gonna let them get the most of what they'll have to resurrect. That's a weighty line. So it's almost like this section, Alex Terrible gets to be the position of Satan here. I don't understand if Ronnie is a representation of a human or himself. Guess I don't know where I stand on that yet, thinking through that. Never going to let them get the most of what they'll have to resurrect, as in their full life, full good life. Suicide, do or die, hesitate, men die. I don't give a... This disgrace to God. An interesting position that honestly gets into an Alex Terrible thing. And so let's see if we get into some of his stuff later. I don't know that much about Alex's positioning, but I feel like the fact that he could bring some heavy vocals on something and talk from the position of Satan and be animated Satan, I feel like a lot of metal dudes would be like, that sounds sick, even if they aren't satanic. And I feel like there's a whole lot of metal acts that are not satanic, but they use very dark imagery. Whether or not there are a lot of bands who are actually Satan worshipers, that the default is picking up super dark imagery, you indirectly end up helping the other team, so to speak. So Alex's position here, which I think this actually lines up with the verse, which I think is pretty cool. I don't know if some of this is meant the way that I think this could be meant, or some of the things that I could glean. Oh, this is sick. This is sick. Okay, so there's certain times that I get so excited about certain scripture because it's crazy, because it references something that a human would never expect. I feel like there are so many different references in the Bible that connect to each other. This is one that might not directly tie to all of this, but to some degree, at least a little bit, it seems to. In the Bible, there's the story of Noah, the flood, that sort of thing. Some people are like, yeah, it was a physical flood. Some people are like, it's a story. I think it was actually a physical flood. But whoever sheds human blood by other humans must his blood be shed. For in God's image, God has made humankind. So there is this idea that there is a literal holy war that is happening throughout time, throughout humanity's history, that Satan is battling things that remind him of God. If humans are made in the image of God, for Satan to either grab a soul and keep it and not letting it get the most of what they could resurrect, whether that either be just oppressing a life in this physical lifetime, or what I believe there is a life to come. If Satan can literally take hold, distract, distort a human that is made in the image of God, make them suffer, I think game planning, the best case game plan that Satan has, biblically speaking, because he can't really do a lot to God, but he can do a lot to the people that are made in the image of God. So I think that's a really interesting hook at the end of this. So I might even be processing this. We've got one more video to do. We'll get into that next time. If you're curious about more, go ahead and subscribe. I'd love to have you kind of go on the rest of this journey with us, or if there's any other videos you think that I should check out, whether it's a song, whether it's an artist, let me know. Or if there's any more kind of chains of yeah, this is a 3-parter. That's really cool to me. But if you want to see more of the hip hop reactions, here we go. If you want to see more of the metal reactions, here you go. Also, let me know in the comments if you are curious about next steps. I'm a Christian. I would love to help other people who are Christians or are thinking about Christianity, of just like, man, I think there might be something to this. I would love to help you. I'd love to be an asset for you. Trying to put some more things together. I'm a little late on playlist. I got to get that together specifically for heavy worship music, heavy praise. But then also hip hop praise, hip hop worship, that sort of thing. And maybe a little bit more in the middle. Maybe I'll make a third one. But yeah, appreciate you guys. There have been so many people subscribing recently. Appreciate you guys. And yeah, let's have fun on the next one. See you then.